Hello and welcome to episode 21 of Toria's Cozy Days. I'm Vicky, I'm a knitter and crocheter living in the United Kingdom in Derby. I work in healthcare, so it's been a bit busy. I don't get all the holidays everyone else gets at this time of year, but that's what it is, and I knew it when I signed up to it. So thank you for watching this. Thank you for watching my previous videos if you have. Welcome to any new subscribers, and we're very, very close to 100 now, I think. Although last time I checked, it's been a little while, but hey. So my last video only came out a few days ago, and I was talking about all the projects I had on my needles before the end of the year. They have all now been put away into one of the cubbies there. I'm going to be honest, I'm pre-recording this on the 1st of January, but it won't go up till the weekend, just to space things out a bit. So I mentioned in my last video about, start with this project that I mentioned in my last video that I said really wasn't enjoying this. I have now finished that row that I was on, so I've gone to the end, tied those ends in, gonna wash it, block it, put it in my present box as a scarf. If somebody likes it, they can have it. If they don't, and it sits there, we donate to charity. I'm not bothered, it's gone out of my stash at my projects. So I did mention in my last video that I was going to be taking part, because I've already started, in the 12 cast-ons, which is run by Ange from the YarnNYarns YouTube channel. Now, I will put it below. I'm not very at how to link things, sorry. I wish I could, but there we go. So I was going to talk about all 12 projects and then realised that I've not started them all, and that would probably take an awful long time. So as today I've started project 6, I thought I would talk about projects 1 to 6 today, and then in a few weeks' time I'll come on and talk about projects 7 to 12, and also how I plan to work through some of my projects, because obviously having discovered there's 11 projects up there already, with another 12, that's 23. I really need. So anyway, as I said, I was away over Christmas at my mum's, and my mum lives next door to my sister with my two nieces. Obviously, I wanted to start the 12 cartons on Christmas Eve, and I had to think, and I came up with a way I could do it. So I actually took 2 projects to cast on while I was up at mum's. One was only part of the project, but there were 2. So the project I first cast on, I'm going to use my tablet just because it's easier to show you on here, because I've got a printout of it. I have got a printout of this one. Some I've got printouts and some I haven't. So I will show you, if I've got printouts, I'll try and show you the printout because it's easier. This is an Ambah O'Brien pattern. It's a bit screwed up, so. And it's the Cosmos Blossom Throw. I think I used the wrong name last time, but you can just see it there, how it's made up of these squares with the flowers. Now, what I'm using for this is my 2025 Room Tidings Advent from Creative Anarchy, and it's in my West Knits Aubergine Project 9 bag, which is full to bursting. This one isn't part of it. It's a silk merino yak, dark grey from Woolly Tangle, and that's in here because I've got a plan. I always have plans, don't I? So yes, so the idea is you use each mini skein, you create a square. So this is my first square. These are reasonably big, so you can just see it. They need blocking. They really need a block. You can see the flower coming out. So I managed to do 2 squares while I was at mum's, and that's my second one. These are random days. I think there's something between, I think that's 11 and that's either 10 or 12, but I might be wrong. The bag managed to fall off the sofa. I just know that's when these colours came out. I do have a little bit left from each of these, and this is where my grey yarn comes in, because what I'm thinking is to just do a litmus style cow, grey, bit of this, grey, bit of that. just to use it all up, because I really don't want this left. So yeah, this project is on a 4mm needle. No, it's not. It's on a 3.75. It's cast off on a 4mm needle. That's why I've got both in here. I believe I've also got a crochet hook in it. It's pinhole cast on. There's not much more to say really about this. I really enjoyed working the squares, and the pattern was quite intuitive. I enjoy lace anyway. The only reason I've not picked it up since I got back from Mum's is, realistically, I've been doing the other cast-ons and I have been back at work since I came back. It was one I could do at Mum's. It wasn't one I could do with the kids around, because it did require me to concentrate a little bit. Yeah, my goal for this is obviously putting it away for now. I have the scissors out of it for now. But to get just to work the squares, and then block them. I have ordered, trying to find something neutral. I got the silk base advent. So trying to find something neutralish with the silk base. I've gone for a grey. I've ordered 2 skeins of grey from Woolly Tangled, which is a 50 merino, 50 silk. So slightly higher merino content, I think. I can't remember which round it is. It's not quite the same content, but I figure for joining it should be fine. I'm probably going to do a different edge. I'm probably not going to pick up a knit all the way around. I'll probably just do a crochet edge on it. But yeah, so that's one blanket. It's also one recent advent calendar cast on. You might see a bit of theme of trying to cast stuff on and get stuff out of my stash. So that's project 1. So as I said, I took 2 projects. I didn't take all of project 2. Now project 2 is in this bag. But goodness knows where I got it. I love it. Just love the colours. It's purple. It's a really nice bag. Inside here, there is, right, what's still in there? 1, 2. Hang on. Is that one in a minute? 3, 4. That's a 4-ply heel double. It's got a pattern with it. Balls of double knit. I want to use up these random single skeins of double knit I've got. My plan, I've also got a lot of hat patterns, is to use them. The 5th one is here. The 5th one is here. So yeah, my plan is to use them up and use the hat patterns I've got as well, and make some number of hats to either, as I say, go in my present box, because that's obviously quite empty at the moment, or to be donated to charity. So this is my first one. This is the MosBeanie by Nici Griffin. Did I print the front page, or did I just print the... I think I did. So yes, that's the front page. I love this pattern. It just gives a really nice squishy hat. I love how the purple just pulls in places. I did it in the DK version. There is also, I believe, an Aran version. I believe the pattern had both in them. DK worsted and Aran, actually, it says, when I look at the proper information. So this was the first hat. On Ravelry, I'm calling them Project 2 A, B, C, D, E. I've probably got a few more nice skeins of hand-dyed double knit. But yeah, basically I want to use them up. I'm going to make a selection of hats. I say I've got some left. I'm umming and ahhing as to whether it needs a pom-pom, or whether I do some sort of headband. I'm not quite sure. I'll see how I feel, but I want to use up a lot of these. So that one, I'm going to put this, there's purple yarns falling everywhere, in there. So yes, project 1, show you, mess my hair up. I don't suit hats particularly, but project 1, this nice beanie, it's done, sorted. Oh God, I messed my hair up completely now, but never mind. So first part of this project, as I say, this project is a multi-part project. I've got another 4 balls in there. I might add more, as I say, if I find more in my stash. Otherwise, yeah, that's that. And all the yarns are from random people. Some are commercial, most are hand-dyed. That I'm going to use for that. Right, project. So then, when I got back from Mum's on Sunday, I started project 3. Project 3, it is in this bag, is using some Wool Tops yarn. There's the band, and it's their Cozy Colours UK Spun Poldale DK, and I've got aubergine, so there's the information. It's purple, what do you expect? And I'm making, oh gosh, this has got screwed up as well. Just find the pictures on the page. So this is where I did print out, as I say, some of the first patterns I'm using. So I'm making this, which is the Crail cardigan by the Crail Bear. It's something I've wanted to make, this cardigan, since I first saw Rest Teaser on my podcast over 12 months ago. It's been on my I want to make list. I really want to make list. So it was no doubt. I thought it was iron weight initially, and I've got a different colour yarn in mind. Discovered it was DK, went, no, what I've got, it works. So this is what I've got. Not a huge amount, but so you can see that's got its beautiful hexagon cables. So yes, we've started. It's got a long way to go. I do need to find a progress keeper actually for this, don't I now? I'm doing more progress keepers. Thumbs. That'll do. So I've just found this little heart progress keeper for now. The reason I can't find most of my progress keepers is not because I don't know where they are, because I know exactly where they are, but because they live normally down here on top of the yarn winder, and that's still out because I've just finished winding for today's project, which I'll show you in a bit because that was number 6. So this is project 3, a cardigan for me. Yep. There's only one item for project 3. So, except if I put the pattern away in the bag, it helps because then I know where it is, because these are all going to go into the further cubby there, which will be my 2026 projects. Once I have done my 12 cast-ons, I do have a plan to try and choose one garment, one blanket, and one other project to work on, to try and work through some of these projects, because I need to lower the number. So, already. Project 4 is another multi-garment project. Wasn't until I was being lovely to my friend, but now I'm being nice to my friend. It's a multi-garment project. Project 4 is in one of my hurdy bags, my pink one. And there's multiple bits to this project. So let's start with this one. This. You can see this here. Obviously, I'm missing a yarn from there. These are the F1 collection from Truly Hooked. So it came in this box, and I have got a second set of it here. This is the livery set. So I'm doing a cat, well, I think it's going to be a Luke cow for me, and then a scarf for my friend. Both of us are having liveries. I've got, so this is one's for mine. I've decided to put mine in championship order from 2025. So they're going cross there, that's that one, and then that's 0. I'm adding in Lando's helmet and sparkles on mine, and then my friend's having Ricardo and Roscoe. So she wants a scarf. She doesn't want that order. She wants a different order, but she's not quite sure what order. So I'm holding this bag because actually it's been one that's actually been in my handbag. It's quite a nice handbag project at the moment. Might change. So we have the Alpine team at the bottom here. So this black is just my provisional cast on. And I haven't used all of the Alpine so that I can do the Kitchener, the words eventually, join in the middle of that stripe rather than at the edge, because as you can see, between the two colours, this is Kicksale, but I've started here. So this is the colour that's missing from the box. So between the two colours, I did these 4 rows where I've gone, and this has come out my head, it's not a pattern. There might be someone with something similar, but this has come out my head, okay? So please, I'm not giving anything away by saying I did 2 rows where I did 2 by 2 colour work. One way, swapped it round, did the black on the other way to give this checkerboard effect. Reason I did that, and I was inspired to do that, is kind of links to the checkered flag you see at the F1 races. At the end of the race, they wave the checkered flag. So that's where my inspiration came from for that. And I plan to just keep doing that. So it's on a 3.5mm needle. I've got it on a 40cm circular. I think I actually cast on 140 stitches, possibly a few too many, but I wanted a wider cowl. And yeah, basically I'm just knitting round in a circle. It took me under a gram to do the 2 rows with of colour with black. Therefore, I know that I can knit pretty much all the way up to that, which is why it's been in my handbag now, because it's the sort of thing I can pick up and just work on. It's got a little sheet. That's just my beginning of round marker, because particularly when I get to the end of the colour, I just need to know that. And I will find a progress keeper for it. As I say, the plan is to do the scarf and the cowl. I'm umming and ahhing at the moment. I have got, so the black I'm using is just some commercial black. You may have seen it if you're watching last year. It's the, I don't even know if it's available anymore, the Teddy Cozy Sock. I got it on a local market donkeys years ago when I was doing another project. I used it to join my Yorkshire blanket last year, which has been gifted. As a side note, that was gifted to some friends who moved to Derby from Yorkshire. So kind of was a remember where you've come from type blanket for them. I didn't just buy the mini skeins because, no. So I've got, this is the Powered by Sparkles colourway. I've got that on standard sock. That's 100 grams. Might make myself a musselburgh or a sock head. Might do the sock head. Sock head hat and then some mitts to match it. That's what I'm thinking at the moment. It's one of the reasons for putting sparkles into my cowl. I've got the 50 grams of the Williams and Mercedes, and I think I'm going to do either socks or mitts with those, but yeah. I'm thinking that it's kind of in the bag with the project because it's my so basically project 3 is the F1 items. No, that's project 4. It's project 4 is the F1 items. Okay, right. So yes, that's project 4. So that was started, I want to say Monday I started that one. The 29th after work. So actually it's not, but because it's quite a simple at the moment in the round, was more about working it out, the maths initially. So yeah. So it's project 4. And as I say, that little bag, sorry, I'm not the camera, will go back into my handbag, I think, for the moment. Project 5, I started yesterday on New Year's Eve. I was very lucky. The people I work for basically said, we're going to do a half day, so if you're working, you can finish early. If you're not working, tough. They did the same on Christmas Eve, so I lost out on Christmas Eve because I'd taken a day's holiday. But yeah, if you were working, you got to finish a bit early, which was nice. This, I'm going to need this before because I don't have it printed because I know I don't have it printed. Is, I find the pit front screen, move blue. the Pressed Flowers cardigan, which it's really not showing up very well there, sorry. Lots of people may be aware of. It's by Savoury Knitting, also known as Christoffers. Thought it was, just wanted to check. So yes, that's. You may remember I have got one that I did in the multiple colours. The only reason I want another one is I want one that's a little bit more muted, a little bit more tonal is the wrong word. I know tonal is the wrong word. I want it to be more cohesive into a couple of colours to be able to go with. I'm wearing plain top today. A lot of my tops are not plain, so it'll go over more. So, bear in mind this is in 4-ply, so it's in 4-ply. It fits round me, so there's an awful lot. That's in this bag that I got at Yarndale last year. No, 24. I went to Yarndale. Can't remember who it's from, but they use offcuts from the fabric industry. The only reason I'm moving it over is because I think. No, it doesn't want to move over. It wants to be that side of me. Sorry. So, it's being awkward. We have this here. I didn't want to stop doing this morning. I really wanted to carry on with it. So we've got the rib at the bottom, and you see I've literally put in 2 rows of my contrast colour. So my colours are this navy blue, which is another wool top yarn. It's their Falklander in navy, I think. Don't think I've got, without rustling lots, I've not got the ball band, unfortunately. And my contrast, and I sat for ages looking at this, is this Jaded. This is called Jaded, and it's from Truly Hooked. It's her standard stock, so it's 75.25. I know, so I've got the Falklander doesn't tell me what it is, it just says navy. And they're just wound up into these balls. I've wound all the yarn. I've had some massive yarn winding sessions recently, and just put in bags what I'm not using at the moment. So that's project 5 that I cast on yesterday. I'm going to be honest, it may well be being worked on a bit more. So yeah, that's 5. And then we come to project 6, which I started today. And project 6, there is a lot to see. Please don't, really there's loads and loads of this to see. I'm turn back to, there you are, that's it. That is what I've achieved on project 6 today. Yeah. Project 6. Project 6, unfortunately, I've still only got the black and white pictures. No, oh, sorry, I'm going through one with it. Project 6 is the Imagination Quilt by Meema Makes. So there's the black and white pictures. This was designed for, I think it's Jess at Gain and Sketches Advent Calendar this year. It was inspired by Anne of Green Gables. I mean, Meema's, yeah. I don't know how Meema makes. Her project patterns are amazing. For a crochet pattern, I've got it downloaded in UK terms. There's also US versions. There's left-handed versions of both as well. But each of these pattern squares here, this one here, for example, are made up of 16 smaller squares. So as you can see, I'm using an undyed natural for my neutral colour. And that is all being kept in my Knitting is Good bag. Slightly ironic because it's not knitting, it's crochet. So yes, I managed to do 1 square this morning. Will do some more. I've got another 2 skeins of undyed wound up, skein I'm using. I move those around a bit to make sure they're in plastic and sealed. I've also got a bag. The idea being that once I make each big square and get them done, I can keep those in there. And I'm going to use my little pouch of, I really do need all this yarn to keep my 16 squares in to sew them up. But what am I using for my colours? So my colours, which is what I've been winding this morning, I don't know how you can see them through this one. I'm really sorry, they're not showing very well through there. And if I show you from the front, you're just going to see the numbers. So this is my 1 to 12, the back there. And then 13, which you can see better because it numbers disappeared, to 24. I'll show you from the back. And they don't show brilliantly from the back. This is my Mousewitch yarn advent, so I have shown this previously. I know I've put photos on Instagram about it as well, because one of my advent calendars from this year. So hang on, let's just take stock. That's 2 advent calendars from this year that I've started using. Another goal, not to keep lots of advent calendars. So I've got another 2 skeins of undyed that haven't been wound. I think it says in the pattern notes that you need 4, but I thought I'd just wind some to start with. And we'll go from there. So yes, I literally have started working on that today. And look, today's goal was the first goal was to make a square. Basically work out how to make the square. Do some plain. The block 1, I need 4 undyed squares. And then I need 12 half square triangles, which is not something I've done, but it's something I thought I'd have time today to sit and work on. And those are 4 undyed with 1, 4 undyed with 4, and 4 are 1 and 4. So this is the whole point of having the advent dyed, so I can pick up the boxes. And you do move between different colours each day, which is quite nice. So yes, I'd like to get some of those done so I can work out how I'm doing those. So what are my plans going forward? Well, as I say, I've still got another 6 projects to cast on. They're all sitting in bags over on the other side of the living room. I'm a bit tied up because it's got a bit crazy in here with Christmas and stuff. I've got a little bit more Christmas stuff to put away. I'm going to put the yarn winder away because I've been doing that. Stop now. So yeah, my goals for, as I say, I'm back at work. I've got day off today, but I'm back tomorrow. Full days clinics. I've only got 1 half day where I haven't got clinics during January. No, that doesn't mean I don't do clinics those days. One of my roles is to support our graduates. So I normally get half a day a fortnight where I'm not in clinic myself, but they're in clinic and I go and see patients with them. And I'm fairly certain I've got people booked in. They've got people booked in that they want me to go in and support them with in January, if that seems a bit weird way of saying it, doesn't it? But they've sort of said, oh, can you come in and support me with this because I'm not sure what I'm doing, or I think I know what I'm doing, but for my learning, can we do it together? So it's kind of, yeah. I think I've only got 1 of those in January. But busy, it'll be what it is. So my plans are over the next 3 weekends, each weekend, to take 2 projects from the pile. I do know what those projects are, because I say they are bagged up. There are 3 more garments, 1 in 4 ply, 2 in double knit. There is a mosaic cowl, there's some fingerless gloves, and there's some socks. I know I said I wasn't doing mini socks this year, and then I've come up with a project that's multiple pairs of socks, but we'll go through that another time. So yes, my plan is to take 2 projects a weekend, probably 1 garment and 1 other project. and work on those, so that in 3 weeks' time I'm recording you again and telling you about the rest of my projects. So projects 7 to 12, and then I'll also talk about how I plan on tackling this Whitburn Mountain. As I say, I've got ideas, and I think what I'm going to do, my plan will be at the end of each project, words, I've had enough to say. At the end of each podcast, I will choose one garment and one blanket, and then over the next, because it's normally 3 weeks between my recordings, over those 3 weeks, I will work that garment, that blanket, that other project, and then the next podcast talk about where I've got to with those, and then actually put those away, choose a different one, and then go from there. I have got, as I say, I am using this. I have got some plans for this year and some goals for this year. So, as I talked about briefly in my last episode about my notebook with my list of, unfortunately, subtitled to it, my pre-25 widths. And as I say, I've got a tick when I finish them. Then I've got my 12 cast-ons list. This isn't complete because I've only got up to 5, because I'm only adding them when I actually cast them on. And my hat is not just the one hat, it's multiple hats, it's changed. And again, I'll tick those when I finish them. And then I've allowed myself, actually now I'll hold it, I've written a page out ready for everything I cast on after the 12 cast-ons. This does not include any of the extra hats. So with my hat project, as I say, there's 4 balls of yarn sitting waiting to cast on. They don't count in this, they count in my 12 cast-ons. The F1 stuff, that's one project, is F1. It doesn't matter what it is. That yarn that's been put into that bag for the F1, might be the other 250 grams in there as well. That is a project, and that is one of the 12 cast-ons. So then I do make notes in my podcasts. So I've just, no, that's not what I'm up to, am I? Sorry. I'm then going to try and make a list on here of any yarn that comes in this year. Again, I need to stop. I need to get yarn out rather than in. I did get yarn out towards the end of last year. I donated 3 skeins, I think it was, 3 or 4 skeins to prizes for our knit group Christmas do. But yes, I do. Any yarn that comes in this year will go in my book, so I can see what's come in. So 2 pages for that. How I'd like to have an empty page at the end of the year, we'll see. Then I keep my podcast notes, so you can see episode 20, which is my news day of what's in the bag. This one, my original plan was to talk through all 12. I've not started half of them, so let's talk through the half I've started. I've left myself quite a bit of space for that. And my little white sheep that's for today's podcast. Then I can just talk through it, make a note of I'll make a note of patterns, dyes, etc. that I need to mention. Then we come to my little orange sheep. My little orange sheep, these are my goals for the year. So my goals for 2026. I want to finish more projects than I start. I do not want to start next year with 23 projects. I'd like to use more yarn than I bring in, which is one of the reasons for tracking what comes in on here. It's not necessarily knitting, but I want to get back to swimming weekly. I was doing it weekly. End of the summer, starting to go back to the pool. Then I had a tooth out and was ill and just didn't get back into the pool routine. So I'd like to do that. So yeah, I want to build up what's in my present box, because I've obviously used it at Christmas. I'm down to very little in there at the moment. And then my last project is to spin. And that's to set my spinner up and learn how to use it. Yeah. I don't want to set myself big goals. Say big goals, I've set 5 goals. Don't want to set myself, I'm going to do this, this, and this, because I'm not going to do it. I'm trying to be realistic. Trying to give myself time. Say, actually be kind to myself. And give myself time and permission to do that. And one of that is about only recording every 3 weeks, because it takes pressure off and everything else. I know I've recorded 2 episodes today. One's already gone up. This will go up on Saturday or Sunday. It might go Sunday. Saturday or Sunday, and then, as I say, I'll be recording 3 weeks' time when I've finished the other 6 cast-ons to tell you more about those. And we'll then probably actually use the random number generator to choose the projects I'm going to work on, because each project has got a number. On my list, I've numbered them. So we may well just choose a number, do a number generator, or I might well write myself another list. In fact, I might write another section. Might write myself a list of blankets, a list of garments, and a list of other projects, so I can see what's in each one, and use a random number generator for each one. I think that's what I'm going to do. Leave it with me. I'm not quite decided on that, so I'll let you know next time. In the meantime, I just want to wish you all well, and hope all your projects go well, and I'll see you in a few weeks' time. Bye.